forget this time.
Nick Johnson's here.
Michael Ryan.
Jeff Livingstone.
Jeff Milne.
Roger Trahan.
Nicole Sharamonti.
Online. Mark?
Mark LePage, present.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Okay. And we will open up the first hearing, which is the NOI for Tri-County Regional Vocational Technical High School. Online?
Yes.
Is there anyone here online for the Tri-County? Oh,
Yes, I'm Mr. Chairman. It's Steve Powers from Semiotis Consultants.
Thank you. Okay. It looks like that we have a notice to, that they're still reviewing the revised information that was submitted. Mainly the stormwater revisions, yes?
That's correct. That's my understanding.
Do you have any updates for us? Or we can just, I mean, you can or not, either way.
Sure, I could do a brief update. Last we were in front of you a couple of weeks ago. We discussed the site enabling package, basically the southwest parking lot and the water main to extend up Tri-County Drive and be stubbed at the bottom of the access road, the new access road going up, mainly to take advantage of the students being out of school as well as staff having free reign and mobility on the site. So we started the initial process of doing that. We had a meeting with the DPW. Bricolai was a part of that on Monday to move forward with that. The DPW was very helpful, as was Bricolai and everybody else in the room to understand of the scheduled impacts and crunch of trying to get some of this work done while we're finishing up the Concom approval. So that's where we stand right now. We have submittals coming in from the contractor. We're working with Beta on those site enabling submittals, mainly related to the water main at this point. But we are, like you said, Mr. Chairman, we're waiting on the stormwater review letter that we submitted that revised package a couple weeks ago as well. So once we get that, we're hopeful. We're very close to being able to have a clean letter and come back in front of the Concom and answer any final questions, discuss anything, comments from the commission as well as the public.
So I mean, obviously school is starting not that long from now. Will you have enough time to do what you need to do before then? Do you think?
I believe so.
Okay.
That's the plan, and that's what we're working with on the contractor. We went through the schedule and the necessary construction steps that we needed to do to get that done and out of the way. So that's what we're hoping, and we're positive and optimistic that we're going to be able to do it.
Right. Okay. Great. Do you have any questions, Commission? No? Anyone? Is there anyone online or in the audience that has any questions for Tri-County? Okay. Brick, you have nothing?
No,
Okay,
I'm good.
All right, so if you would want to, motion to continue?
I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for Tri-County Regional Vocation Technical High School until July 25th at 7:01 p.m.
Second.
Okay,
Vote to continue.
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 Abstain.
Mark?
Vote to continue.
Continue? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go into the next hearing for Veterans Memorial Drive. I see here that Beta did provide a peer review letter on June the 7th. I believe that the applicant is still reviewing. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And we do have Michael Hassett from G&H here just to provide a brief
Okay.
update on their
Thank
work.
you. Okay, great.
Good evening. My name is Michael Hassett here from Girder and Halnon. Just wanted to give you a brief update on the project, and also there were several comments in the Beta's comment letter that were deferrals to the commission's discretion.
Okay.
And so we figured, might be a good time to get those out of the way. Talk about those tonight,
Sure.
and then that way when the peer review comment letter, resubmittal is sent in, we're expecting that to be next week. But that way we can just focus on the revised plans and. Hopefully we'll kind of get these things wrapped up. So I'll just kind of go through them one at a time.
Sure.
So comment A2, It says the following elements are missing from the provided plan set. The provided plan set has a scale of 50 feet to 1 inch. Beta defers to the commission on the bylaw requirement of plan scales at 40 feet to 1 inch or larger. The applicant's use of 50 feet to 1 inch appears reasonable for the site. And so it's just a request to allow a non-standard scale. If we feel that the 50 feet to 1 inch fits the site better. If you go to 40 feet to 1 inch, you can't fit the entire site on one sheet, and you end up doubling the sheet count and
Sure, sure.
just making it even more
Sure.
confusing to follow.
Sure,
So.
sure. It's administrative, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Great.
I mean, really, nobody has a problem with this, okay.
As long as it reads well and you
Yeah, as long as you can see it, yeah,
determine
yeah.
what you're going, it doesn't
Right.
make any difference.
Right.
Great. Okay. So the next one, that's going to be section. It's comment A2, section C. The existing tree line and individual tree shrubs with diameter greater than 1 inch proposed for removal should be shown. It is Beta's understanding that the commission generally increases the size threshold for tree location based on the project and therefore defers to the commission on this matter. And so we're requesting that, we be allowed to not show trees of 1 inch caliper or greater, throughout the site. It's a forest, there's gonna be a lot of
Oh,
trees
sure,
that are
no,
located.
yeah.
And so we do show the tree lines, and we feel that's kind of adequate to understand the nature of disturbance. Most of the work is outside of the 100-foot buffer,
Right.
but we defer to your judgment on that.
I have two comments. One, this is primarily and right now a town project, so I think considering it's a town project, the commission should default to the 3 inch, which is what you've
That's
required
what
of
we
every
have
other
done.
applicant.
Yeah, that's what we do, to be consistent. That is what we
And
have
to not
done.
exempt the town from the same requirements.
Right. Would that be fair?
It's up to you.
3,
Absolutely.
I mean, do you guys, is that okay? 3? It's what we have done.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you define the area where the forest is and then put in some 3-inch trees in there, I think
Yeah.
that's more than adequate
I think
to
that's more than
determine
adequate.
what you're doing.
Yes, I think so.
Would it be acceptable maybe to limit this requirement to work within the buffer?
What do you think? Yes?
I mean, that's not. Trying to think what you did for Maplegate.
Did we do a sampling?
Yeah,
You
we did a
did.
sampling.
Well, that was actually, that was Bent Street, yeah,
Oh,
with Chris
that's
Lucas.
right.
Yeah.
But all the same, I mean,
Same
you could
idea.
do that.
Yeah.
And I work for the town, so I'm gonna say it anyways. There are some really nice mature beech trees in there.
Oh, okay. All
And
right.
it would be nice to know. You don't know this, I know this, working internally for the town.
Right.
But there may be some more opportunities for trees in our future, and it would be nice to know what we're missing.
But we're not
So-
working in this area where the trees are, right?
The entire
Most
area
of
is
most of the
forested.
buffer zone is to be left intact, but the whole site is forested, and a large portion of that is being cleared for the roadway and the 40B development on one of the parcels.
If you would, if the commission would prefer, I can always go back to the applicant, who is Mike Maglio with DPW, and I can confer with him. But I would bet he's going to shrug and say, do as you always do.
So what's the potential for how many 3-inch or greater sized trees are in these?
Well, at that point, you do a sampling. You do a transect sampling, so you're not actually surveying every 3 inch.
Oh, that'd be good.
Like Ben.
Yeah.
You want to do that? I mean, would that be fair? Would that be a compromise?
It would be a compromise, and it would be procedurally the same that you've always done for every other applicant.
Okay, yeah. So,
That seems like where we've headed with this
yeah.
situation.
Agreed, Mark, yeah, agreed. So typical what we've done is we basically just asked for them to do a sampling.
Yep.
An estimate, so based upon this sampling, this is what we think in terms of the number of 3-inch or over trees inside the site.
Okay, great. Yeah, we will work with Rika to get that done
Is
to
that
the
okay?
town's usual standard.
Okay. Anybody, are you guys okay? All right,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, comment W9, Beta defers to the commission on the approval of the project narrative due to several bylaw requirements absent from the narrative, including who is performing the work, a detailed description of all of the activity within the conservation jurisdiction, and when the proposed activity will be done. And we defer to you guys on that as well.
Yes?
Construction sequence and schedule, and then all contacts, you generally condition that.
Yes, that is almost always.
Yes, and that is being revised on the plan set. That information is being updated on the plan.
I'm assuming you would have that, yes.
Yes, yeah, we're merging the stormwater report, standard 8, construction sequence and
Yes, I see.
responsible person, and
I see.
we're showing that on the plan, so that information will now be in both places, and
Okay, I see. So that
Okay.
suffices, yes?
Yes, the one caveat to that is not just for SWIP purposes or who's the main point of contact with the commission generally conditions, is that all contractor information, just in an Excel spreadsheet or Word document,
okay.
is provided, so if something happens, I have a slew of people I can call.
Yeah, at least you know who to call,
Yes,
right?
or
Ask the
if it's
question of,
civil versus excavators versus
Yeah,
builders, who
yeah,
do I
yeah,
talk to?
Yeah, that would be very helpful. If you guys don't mind, that would be, yeah, that'd be very helpful.
But it can be
It'd be a
conditioned
list that you'd have to
afterwards.
update as you got subcontractors.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can be conditioned for
And that shouldn't be a
after
problem.
approval,
Right.
that's
And we'll work with Brika to get a preliminary version of that as
Yeah.
best we can at this stage. Right
Yeah, it's
now.
not gonna be complete when you start.
Yes.
No, and
Right.
Mike Maglio is just up the street, so it's,
Right,
I have little concern at this point.
okay, okay, that works, okay.
All right, and then I believe the last one is the applicant submitted a variance request for the filling of the IVW with proposed wetland replication, and so we just need the commission's, decision on that waiver. So that's the, there's a small IVW up near Arundecoy, right at that threshold where the road has to come through. We're filling that, we're doing, I believe, the 2-to-1 replication, across the two, upland, wetland, segments.
Okay, okay. So,
You believe 2-to-1 or you know 2-to-1?
I had the plan in
It
front of me
is.
before I say absolutely
It is.
definitively.
It
So
is.
it is, I believe, yeah.
Yes.
right,
Thank you.
so, what's your take on this?
That's fine.
Yeah,
Not to ever eat crow and go back on anything that I've ever said about filling wetlands. However, the habitat quality of the wetland that's proposed to be filled is small.
okay,
The wetland is really just a ponding of water from where an existing trail cart path has been, and rock walls, and neighbors dumping leaves. So it has created a depression.
okay,
It is, I could lay in it, and it's about as long as I am.
okay.
So it's
All right.
small,
Or not.
but
So
it's
not
there.
significantly
But
impacted,
it's,
I know,
yeah,
okay,
but it's small.
right, okay,
I believe it's under 1,000 square feet.
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
We can handle that.
okay,
And
okay,
the connection between the two wetlands off to the side is 2-to-1, and it would be a much higher habitat quality value.
okay. I think that, yes,
I think it's a good idea.
I agree. You guys?
Go
I-
for it.
yeah, okay.
Just gonna check. I believe that was all we had for tonight.
Okay, great.
So if you have any other questions about the project, I'm happy to answer them now, but if not, then we'll just get these revisions in and
Okay,
see you at the next meeting.
okay. Anything, Dennis? Anything? No? No more questions? Mark, any more questions? No?
No, good to go through though. Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone in chambers or anyone online that has any questions about this project? Okay, without that, I'll take a motion to continue.
I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for Veterans Memorial Drive to July 25th at 7:02 PM.
Second.
Vote to continue.
Continue?
Continue?
Continue.
Continue.
Mark?
Vote to continue.
Continue. Thanks for coming in and updating.
Thanks, Michael.
All right.
Approval's findings.
Now we'll go on to the third and final hearing for tonight, the ANRAD for 55 Constitution Boulevard. Is there anyone here for 55? Yes, thank you.
I thought we were approving this.
We are. They're just good at what they do.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, good evening. My name is Todd Morey with Beals Associates. With me this evening, I also have Tyler Lepshansky from our office, as well as Jeffrey Sullivan from Northbridge Partners, the applicant. I think this is the second time we're in front of you. We give you a brief overview of the project site, the flagging and delineations that were done, and our various assumptions at that time. Went out to peer review, came back. The results of the peer review were, I guess I would classify it more as, dotting the i's and crossing the t's. They agreed with all the flag locations, so the delineation itself didn't change. But there were a series of notes that we added just to clarify to the commission and to whoever looks at this at any point in the future that we're only requesting confirmation of the numbered flags that are shown here. So there are some lines that go off beyond the property boundaries. We're not requesting confirmation of those, just the numbers that are on there. So we added that note. There was also a question about a PLS stamp, and we couldn't really find that regulation, but rather than argue too much, we took the Alta survey and submitted that with the updated plans. So now you have the Alta survey, which does include the wetland flags,
Okay.
and all the boundary and all that, that's stamped by a PLS, professional surveyor. And then you have our Alta plans, which are stamped by a professional engineer.
Okay.
So you have all of that now. Let's see, what else did they have? The applicant provided a survey benchmark on the plans. That was on the Alta survey, but we have also added it to the updated ANRAD. During the site visit, Beta observed several stormwater outfalls along one of the BVWs. It's recommended the plans be revised to depict these outfalls. Same comment, it showed up on the Alta, we added it to the updated ANRAD, so that should be all set. Their next comment, W3, talks about the potential for a stream in the middle of this wetland that comes up to a culvert. And they noted that we hadn't requested, or we hadn't flagged bank or high water marks or anything like that, and they just wanted a clarification that we aren't seeking confirmation on bank or high water mark in that area. We are not.
Okay.
So we added that in there as well. That has to do with that note where I said that all we're asking for confirmation of
Yes.
is the numbered flags. We added the culvert like they requested, that's in that area. Beta concurs with the applicant's on-site delineation of B-Series IVW. While standing water was not observed during the site visit, Beta also concurs with the applicant's classification of this area as an ILSF. I don't think we need to respond to that, since they agree with us. And then they mentioned that there may be off-site areas that are present. And I think what they're probably referring to is there is a drainage ditch on this side of Constitution Boulevard. And what we proposed is to leave that off the ANRAD for now, but in the event, which is highly likely, that a notice of intent comes in front of you, we'll investigate that. If it is a jurisdictional area, we'll flag it up.
Okay.
Like I said, it's across Constitution Boulevard.
Right.
So if there is something jurisdictional there, we'd be in the buffer zone of it. We certainly wouldn't be encroaching on
Okay.
that area itself.
Yep.
So we'll add that to the notice of intent if that is warranted at that time. That is all I had.
Okay. All right. Is there anything? Any comments?
Just reading the findings of fact in, and then I just had one tongue-in-cheek comment for the applicant, because I haven't disclosed my experience on the site yet.
Okay.
So I'm assuming you've walked the wetlands, right?
You would assume
Yes.
correctly?
One of them landed me in urgent care. 'Cause
Oh,
I-
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I had a first for my field work of stepping on a nail. Yep. So
Isn't
I
that-
guess
Was it the IVW and
it's
ILS?
awful in there. Although a really nice jewel weed stand, but all the same, it's awful.
I won't tell you what my candid comments was after I looked at that area back in our office.
It
I agree.
was bad. I sent photos of, I was out there before Beta, and I sent photos to John of all the tires, and I was like, I don't know, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, I
You
think it's
stepped
fair to
on a
say that there
nail?
might be some off-site contribution
Ooh.
to,
Oh,
the condition
there's a connection there. Yes, there is. So my comment was just for any future NOI, if we could include cleaning that up, that would be fantastic.
We'll see what we can do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Or if you witness anything
Yeah, and I'm assuming
additional
you
being tossed, let me know.
yeah, and I'm assuming you'd be looking for like a lot of the large debris cleanup, not
Yeah, just
not
dump
getting
So-
in
oh,
there.
wait,
Yeah,
so-
no, no,
wait,
just
Wait,
dump.
so
just-
do you guys,
Yeah.
do you guys think this is something recent, or is it something that happened like a long
It's
time?
accumulating.
Oh.
I think
so-
it
It's ongoing?
still continues to
Oh,
happen.
really?
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Some of the debris that I saw there, if I had to date it, I'd say 5 to 7 years old,
Yeah.
and there's a lot that's even newer than that.
Yeah.
really?
I mean, what I stepped on was a piece of wood, a beam that had rotted, and then there was an old nail. But
I see.
the nail was big and rusted.
Okay,
And
okay.
I should show you photos. You'll enjoy it. I kept the nail.
It's a war,
It's
More
souvenir.
wound.
I know.
That's right, the shrapnel that came out, yeah, no kidding. Oh my
Anyway, so
God.
that was my one
let me
tangential
tell you
thought.
kids about my experience.
Yeah, yeah.
Bet you.
And then, Mr. Chair, if you want me to read the findings and facts,
Pretty please.
otherwise if you, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So I will just read it. This is the finding of facts for 55 Constitution Boulevard, map 313, lot 059, Franklin, Massachusetts. Order of Resource Area Delineation, Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and Regulations, Town of Franklin Wetlands Protection Bylaw and Regulations, DEP file number 1591296. List of submittals for the record, abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, ANRAD, 55 Constitution Boulevard, Franklin, Mass, prepared for Northbridge Partners by Beals Associates, dated April 26, 2024. Existing conditions plan, one sheet, prepared by Kelly Engineering Group, stamped by Stephen M. Horsfall, number 41608, dated April 24th, 2024, with a scale of 1 inch equals 40 feet. Abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, one sheet, prepared by Beals Associates, Inc., stamped by Todd P. Morey, number 48865, with a revised date of June 24th, 2024, with a scale of 1 inch equals 80 feet. Peer review letter from Breda Group Incorporated, dated June 24th, 2024. Peer review response letter from Beals Associates, Inc., dated June 26, 2024. Wetland resource areas. Resource areas under MGL 131, Section 4310, CMR 10, and covered under the Franklin Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Chapter 181, and associated regulations. This ORAD approves the delineation of the resource areas series flags as drafted on the abbreviated notice of resource area delineation with a revised date of June 24th, 2024, with a scale of 1 inch equals 80 feet. Incorporating revisions reflecting the Franklin Conservation Commission, Franklin Conservation Department, and Beta Group Incorporated review comments from a review comment letter from Beta Group Incorporated dated June 24th, 2024. Findings, accurate delineation. 1, isolated vegetated wetland, IVW/freshwater wetland/ILSF, flag series B2 to B24. 2, bordering vegetated wetland, BVW, freshwater wetland flag series SB5 to SB13, A4 to A7, A10 to A42, and A51 to A56. Modified delineation. A stream and associated inland banks and land underwater interior to the isolated vegetated wetland, IVW, freshwater wetland, ILSF flag series B2 to B24 was observed in the field by Beta Group and the Franklin Conservation Commission, and flows through 24-inch reinforced concrete pipe, RCP. These resource areas, their jurisdictional boundaries, and the intermittent/perennial status were not confirmed as part of the ANRAD process. These resource areas will be identified and or approximated on any future permitting plans. And 2, the resource areas depicted on the plans of record are the only resource areas being confirmed under this filing. Accordingly, the presence or absence of vernal pools is not confirmed under this ORAD, and any other jurisdictional areas may be present at the site.
If I may, the stream that they noted, I believe that was within the A series wetlands, not the.
No, you're right.
Series.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you.
So A series, not B series, that's correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that,
Okay,
that's where the
Yeah, it's the
RCP pipe is that they
BVW,
mentioned.
not IVW.
Yeah, I see, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Anything? No, that's it?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Approve
approve with the, yeah, right.
with findings.
Right. Before we do that, though, is there anybody online or in chambers that has any questions about this project? If not, we will have a motion.
I'll give you a motion to approve the ANRAD for 55 Constitution Boulevard with the findings as stated,
As read into the record, yeah.
as read into the records.
Second?
Okay.
Approve.
Approved.
Approve.
Approve. Approve.
Approved.
Mark?
Vote to approve.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
All
guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
And we're done.
Okay, and that's the end of the hearings for tonight. And now we're moving into general business and the minor buffer zone activity. And the first one up is 86 Palomino. Is there anyone here for Alice 86 Palomino?
John Detterman is on.
Hi, thank you.
So we submitted the MBZA requesting approval to install 4 sections of vinyl fencing within 100 feet of the wetland buffer zone. This is part of a larger project that I've been working on with Bricolage for the habitat expansion. And we'll be back with drawings on what we proposed for plantings, but we wanted to get permission to get a fence installed sort of as a backdrop to what's to come on that planting. I submitted details of the fence and pictures of the proposed installation spot. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. If I've left any information out, please speak up.
Pretty standard.
It's standard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have no comments. It's all an existing disturbed lawn. I mean, the wetland does, it's a shrubby wetland that has been filled over the years.
Okay, yep.
But he isn't moving past the tree line, and that's, you know, where
Right.
the wetland is, interior to the trees, so.
Okay. Questions, Chris? No? Any questions? Mark, any questions? No?
Seems pretty cut and dry, thank you.
Okay, all right. If that's okay, then I would make a recommendation to approve with the standard MBZA conditions.
Make it, I recommend we approve, I'll give you a motion to approve the minor buffer zone activity at 86 Palomino Drive.
Second?
Approve.
Okay. Approve, approve.
Approve. Approve.
Approved.
Mark?
Vote to approve.
Approve. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just ask a question?
Certainly.
The conditions that somebody just noted, are they in that packet that I have, or are they specific to my situation?
Sure. Do you have the MBZA we approved a few weeks ago near you, too?
I do.
Perfect. So in the permit that you got, you have my cover letter, and then there's the signature page and a permit into that. So at the bottom, there are several conditions. So the standard conditions in this case, since it's not a tree removal, is just that you let me know when work is occurring, you let me know when work has finished.
Okay.
And I think there is one other one, but it's more administrative than not, and I know you have my contact information, John, so.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Yep,
And we'll be in touch for the next phase of the project.
exciting things.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll go on to the next MBZA, which is 126 Grove Street.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great, good evening. So we're here for the MBZA application. We're looking to conduct a number of soil borings and test pits for the purpose of, kind of structural due diligence, stormwater planning, and, other information to be gleaned. Some of that work is taking place within the 100-foot buffer zone, and so we filed to kind of give you an idea of where we're looking to test and get authorization to proceed. In the areas that we are going inside the 100-foot buffer zone, we're installing erosion control. And the plans in blue show the access path intended to take to those test pit locations, and then the red dots are the testing locations themselves.
Okay.
And then the yellow highlight is the 25-foot no disturb for the wetland. All of the work is outside of that. The majority of it is outside the 50. I believe there are a couple in there, but most of it is kind of around the two detention basins and sightings for potential future locations.
So I had a question for Brigalai. So the condition that you mentioned in your notes was about if the NOI was delayed past a certain point in time, then site restoration. But they're just making test pits, right? Yes?
Yes, but if you recall, this site also has an existing violation that we've carried over from the ANRAD.
Oh, right.
And the ANRAD has conditions about needing restoration, so just to keep it current, I
correct.
included it as a condition.
Okay.
But the commission does have, considering, you know, this is a good faith effort and they are moving along in the
Yes,
process.
yes, yes.
I included that,
Okay,
for you
I
to
see.
talk about a timeline,
Okay.
just to keep it current.
I mean, so my question is, ideally, when do you think you would have an NOI filed?
I don't know that schedule. I can say that if we received authorization, they would be looking to move forward with testing in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
And then probably the site design process could be anywhere from a month to, you know, several months down the road before we're ready to, it's a fairly complex site.
Okay.
You know, they're looking to do an expansion to the warehouse and parking over some steep slopes. With some replication is probably going to take place, so it's a complex project that they're looking to move forward with.
So, but probably within a year?
Yeah, I think so.
Within a year.
Might I suggest 6 months?
6 months?
G&H is always in front of us, or always at least at tech review or
Mhm.
something like that, and they can give me an update. That puts us into January, they wouldn't be doing restoration in
You know, and
January
if 6 months
anyways.
didn't work, they can come back and
Exactly.
say,
Yeah.
bada bing,
Yeah.
bada bing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would, is that okay? Is that
Yeah, that sounds fine, and if it turns out it's delayed, we can plan the restoration for the spring, like she was just
Yeah.
mentioning.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I just wanna keep it on the record.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
I
not
could- I
lost.
got it. Yep, that makes sense.
I do know that they want to move forward as quickly as possible, so I don't think we'll miss that, but
Right.
I just
Okay.
don't, I can't say for 100%.
Okay, okay. Right, I just wanted to ask you before we.
Understood.
Okay, any other questions, you guys, about this? No? Questions? Mark, any questions? No?
I think 6 months makes sense. Good call.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so why don't we do that? Why don't we do a
Just put 6
recommendation,
months.
approval with the condition that if an NOI is not filed within 6 months, then the site restoration should occur. How about that?
Okay,
Okay.
I'll give you a motion to approve, I guess, the minor buffer zone activity for 124, 126 Grove Street with the proviso that for 6 months, if the NOI is not filed within 6 months, then the site restoration should occur.
Right, okay. Second?
Second.
Second.
Vote to approve.
Approve? Approve. Approve?
Approve. Approve.
Approve.
Mark?
Vote to approve.
Approve. Thank you very much.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Okay, that's it for the MBZA's, and now we move on to the minutes. I have read the minutes, I did not see any changes. Does anybody see any changes that need to be made to the June 27th minutes? No? No?
All good.
Okay, then I'll take a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll give you a motion to approve the minutes for June 27th, 2024.
Second.
Approve.
Approve. Approve?
Approve. Approve.
Approve.
Mark?
Vote to approve.
Approved. Okay, and now we have a discussion item, a purchase of a dock for Delcart.
Yes, so this is a ratification of a purchase, I already approved it, but this
Okay.
is part 2 of the purchase you've already approved for the kayak launch. When the company was out there, they realized they needed to do some additional work. Ryan authorized them to do it, and so now we just have an invoice, and I told him not a problem, that you would likely pay it.
Yes, that's
So,
Yep.
you have a brand new kayak launch at Delcart,
Okay, great.
Yeah, we just got to approve payment.
correct,
Yeah.
that's already been paid.
Okay, yes, okay, so I think we're just gonna approve of this, yes? Yes,
Yeah.
right? Everything's right?
All
Okay.
agreed.
All right, so vote to approve.
Vote to,
Well,
vote-
well, I mean,
do we need a motion?
I guess motion to approve, yes, payment for the, that's already.
Motion
paid.
to approve the payment for the Dell
Yeah,
cart
yes.
dock that's already been installed.
Yes, okay. Second. Okay,
Vote to approve.
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 Mark?
Vote to approve.
Approved, thank you very much. Okay, and then quickly, at the last updates, it looks like that Friends of Franklin liaison update, there's not an update. Master Plan liaison update, not an update. Natural Resource Protection Manager update, no update yet. And then MAC update, I have nothing new from that.
Moving right
because,
along.
Although they are continuing to ask for, I think this is the last week actually for meeting subjects that they want for the meeting, the big meeting. And then CRWA update, anyone? Yes?
I don't have a watershed update, but I do have 3 things to bring up.
Okay, sure.
One, next Friday at the farmer's market, I still have to email Lauren, but that's when Michaela was looking to be at the farmer's market.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if any of you would be willing to join her.
What day is that?
Yeah. The 19th,
Oh, I'm not here then. Sorry, I'm not here then.
The 19th,
yes.
I'm not here.
Friday. Let me see.
I'm not here that weekend.
I'll be there.
And I'll be there.
Okay.
Okay.
That's next week.
Bridget, did you say you're gonna be there too?
Huh?
Can't do
Did
it.
you say you were gonna be there
away.
too?
No.
Oh,
October 18th is my day.
oh, okay.
But I got stuff to do, man.
You should bring George to the farmer's market.
I should. I
They
don't
bring
trust the
out
dogs.
packers.
No offense
the
to everybody
dogs.
that walks
That's
their
right.
dogs,
Oh,
but
that's
I don't
That's
trust
right.
the dogs.
That's right, yeah, that's right. I had
Yeah.
fun with that, you're right.
But he would do really well.
They love him.
Yeah.
Ah, they love him, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of days to move the joke.
I'm out of town that day, so I can.
Yeah, I too. Okay, that's number one. You had 2 more?
Yes. This is actually a question for Mark LePage, and then also just a comment for all of you. So procedurally, I can't send anything out until I have all of your signatures.
Okay.
So Mark, I was wondering when you'd be able to come in to sign, which is,
I could do a Monday.
that's fine. But then I wanted to let you know that the date of issuance, we can't even issue this, we only have so many days that we can hold on to this before it has to go out.
Okay.
So I know we're all volunteers, you're volunteers. I know it's summer and I know we have vacations, but it's imperative that we get these signed
Okay.
in a timely manner and sent out.
Okay.
The appeal process can't start until that happens, so it hangs up applicants too, it hangs up residents that wanna appeal things. And then I have to go back in and change the dates on all of these on the online system,
Okay.
and then reprint them.
Okay.
So,
I
that's
have
my,
a question on that.
yeah,
I know I think it's the Google Drive.
yep,
Isn't there a folder in there about electronic signatures?
yes, you can do electronic signatures
Oh,
still.
okay.
Yeah. The only thing that gets tricky about it is I've run into a few, electronic signatures came into play with the pandemic.
Yeah.
I've had a few lawyers fight that they still want wet ink. I've also found out that depending who's working the counter at the Registry of Deeds that day, they'll fight that as well.
Oh.
Michael did it on his phone and it came out good, so I think it like slid through.
Yeah, okay,
So
okay.
that's good.
Okay.
But I have seen some electronic signatures where you can see the white box around it, or
Oh.
it looks
Okay.
digitized.
Uncool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you do need to sign it electronically, what I would ask is that you let me know ahead of time so they're the first signature. Because otherwise then I'm getting wet signatures, let's say from some of you, scanning it in, then getting a
I see.
electronic, and the
Yeah.
registry needs hard copy signatures.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
needs to be sequential. So
So
the-
digital first.
Yes.
Okay.
So the the wet signatures are the last thing on there.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So there was that. Monday's fine, that's
So-
okay.
So does that change anything about how we do business like normal, where we sign stuff after the meeting?
No,
Okay,
because I usually put the issuance date the next day or for Monday.
okay.
Because the chances of me actually submitting this on a Friday is slim. And we do have 21 days to issue things. But
Okay.
then there's a 10-day appeal period. So for example, in the case of 121 Grove Street, it didn't get sent out until day 17. And for their purchase and sale, it needed to go through the appeal period. So the seller had to wait a month before after the permit approval until they could do it. Which is not our concern, but it's just a domino effect, right?
Got it.
Yeah.
got it. We should be cognizant of what,
Yeah.
yes,
Well, yes,
We
of
should
the
be
impacts,
bold.
of the impacts.
yes, and myself too, I mean, right, I think
Yeah.
so. So there was that, and then bylaws.
Oh, yeah, well, there's, okay, yeah. So recently, as you might remember, and this was talked about at length at the MAC meetings, DEP has done some revisions and come up with a new handbook. And one thing that we really need to do now is we need to go back through our own bylaws and see if there are any changes that we need in response to the updates, or if there are any holes that we see that really need to be filled. And we are aware of a couple of things that we really should do, just based upon some of the activity that's gone on here the last year. So Brika and I talked about how best to do this, and what I would suggest is putting together a subcommittee for people to review our bylaws. That's typically what we've done with like master plan and open space and other things like that. If there's a specific task that really requires some significant effort, which unfortunately this will, it's a lot of reading, a lot of discussion. That's what I would do. I would recommend to the commission that we set up a body of no less than 3 people. I would be on that as well. I'd volunteer, and basically go through and try to see what changes we think would make sense. And then what I would do is I basically would suggest that group submit those changes to Brika to review that. If there's anything that we needed to be reviewed by Mark Sorrell, we would have that done. And then basically that would be a sort of a recursive process by which we would then come together. So ultimately, if we come up with a set of recommendation changes to the bylaws, that does have to come in front of the town council. So they're the ones that would basically vote to approve those changes, right? It's their decision. So we would make the recommendations based upon what we find. And again, largely what we'd be saying to the town council is, you know, we've come across some situations, there appear to be some holes, but in addition, we know that the regs have been the state regs have been updated. And we just want to make sure that we are in line with that, or we haven't done something that's less, you know, because again, you know, by the law, we can't make any bylaws that are less restrictive than DEP. So we have to make sure that still is the case, right, with these changes. We don't know that until we look at it, right? So if that makes sense, then I would recommend we do this. I think that's something that unfortunately we kind of need to do fairly soon, because we get into these situations where if people find these, unfortunately, these loopholes, they can basically use them to their advantage and our great disadvantage. And we have seen that play out a couple times recently. So I would be looking for a couple of volunteers that would be willing to put together a subcommittee to start to do this.
I'll be in, Jeff.
Okay, Mark,
Yeah,
Richard?
I'd do it.
Okay, so at least Mark and Richard, you want to? Okay, thank you. So we have 4, 5,
Oh.
you want to do it? Okay,
I'd be interested.
So you need to rotate, because technically you can't, only town council can create an official subcommittee, so these would just
Okay.
be
Oh, you get
meetings.
too many people.
all right, okay.
So it's too many people.
Okay.
But I just want to preface that this is a big undertaking, and we'd likely need to meet during the day. So that is something, it will take.
You have to consider, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Is there,
Okay, that's fine.
is there a potential to divvy some of it up, right? To
So,
maybe,
there is, but what I have found in the past years trying to get this off the ground is that I need a strong core of people to
Right.
lead it.
Right.
Um,
Sure.
That's what I need. It's hard for me in my workload, and I feel very strongly that it's your town and you're the authority. You should draft the bylaw.
No, we agree, and also,
So,
yeah, but also,
respectfully.
but also keep in mind that, and I'm not sure who knows this, but basically, right now, our support is burdened by a huge project that they are now tasked with putting together, and that's gonna really strip them of a lot of their time. So it is something that we unfortunately really do have to lead ourselves.
And it will include also reference bylaws, so looking around to see what towns around us are doing,
Right.
what they have. So it's not just sussing out our own bylaw and regulations, but really taking a broad look of the trajectory of where you want Franklin to be
Right.
and where the state is going.
And just let me say, also, in this case, in this specific case, the MACC organization can be a huge help. I mean, that organization effectively collects such things. It also has access to other board members that are, attorneys, conservation attorneys. Actually, the most prominent, conservation legal entity in Boston, the head of that is on the board, right? And actually, there's two people from that, but the head and his sort of aide-de-camp are both on the board. So we can go to them and we can ask for support information. We can also ask MAC for assistance in reaching out to other conservation agencies to get some read. The other thing also is that they have a pretty great bulletin board where you can pose questions, and pretty much anyone who's a MAC member gets the question, and you get responses. So it's a way to communicate with the other boards throughout the entire state of Massachusetts, not just the ones that are close to us. Like, how did someone do this? How to approach this?
Well, a lot of the smaller towns or whatever, that you and I are the people that go out
Yes.
and decide, instead of Bricolage,
Yes.
we go out and do it. So
Yeah.
some of those people are well informed.
Very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. There's also, Franklin is within 2 watersheds. So I know they lend some technical assistance for bylaws, which leads me to an opportunity or an option at least for you all. I don't think it's necessary yet, but you can always hire someone to draft them as well. I'm fairly certain Beta has a division that does that.
I think that would be a good idea.
So
That might
if
be,
that's
yeah.
something,
Yeah.
what I can do then before our next meeting is just pull together some information,
Yeah,
some more,
please.
so we can have some more clarity, and
Yeah.
then we can go through.
We need somebody to tell us whose bright idea was this.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I
You
think,
want to do what? Yeah.
I think the research part is going to be heavy.
Yeah.
And then Mark Sorrell is great, but he is split between 2 towns, and
Right.
he likes to be called in only when he has to be called in, so.
No.
So if we used Beta, so they do the research, put something together, we could discuss it at a meeting as a group and decide what we want to forward on. Boy, if that's the case, that sure sounds good.
You'd have to pay for it, but yes.
I understand.
Yeah.
I get it,
Yeah,
yeah.
but in this
Yeah.
case, it's important enough. I think we should. I mean, I think you guys would.
Yeah.
And we certainly have the funds to. So,
Well, there you go,
I mean, this is the kind
that's
of thing
what
we
it's
really
for.
should. Yeah, exactly.
just for this
That's what it's-
eventuality.
So would the subcommittee bring ideas to our full commission before?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say. I would say basically, I mean, again, if they're, the best thing to do, I mean, the bylaws themselves are not that big of a thing. But if people, I mean, at first glance, so they basically just read through them and they see something that they think is a hole or something that isn't represented in them, given all the activity that we've seen in the past, say, year, that would be a good place to start, right? And then secondly would be the comparison between, well, it's really, so the first one is it's general, like, do you see anything like glaringly wrong? 2 is that look around, see what other towns have done, are there things there that you think are a good idea to incorporate or not? And then the third one would be the evaluation of our bylaws versus, you know, what DEP, are there any places where we need to make changes because of the changes? So that's really, there's three parts of this, that's what I think. And then basically when that's all put to bed, and then we have a series of recommendations, at that time, you know, working with Beta, you know, then we have actually something that we can actually send to either Breakout, Lai, Mark, or ultimately the town council. So I think that's sort of the process, high-level process. Yes?
Yeah, so I think the difference with the group, us, meeting during the day is we would be doing the bulk of the work that Beta would be doing. Inevitably, it would have to come in front of you, because you would all have to vote on it. So what I would imagine if it's with Beta, I'm there regardless.
Yeah.
And then I would imagine one leadership, Concom leadership was there.
Okay.
Or at least one of you.
Yeah.
Privy to the meetings for
Okay.
transparency purposes.
Okay.
And then it just comes back in front of the commission, just like any other proposal, except it's not a development project.
Right, right.
And then it does have to go in front of town council. It is 2 readings,
Okay.
for bylaw changes.
Okay.
So that puts you at least 1 to 2 months, depending on when you came fall on the agenda or how many meetings they had per month. And it is on this current administration goal sheet to get Concom bylaws.
Okay,
So we're already happy you're in.
all right, okay. So at least it's listed as a priority.
Yes.
Which is good.
They
Okay, so
want
we-
to check those goals off.
Yeah, yeah, so we won't be basically pushed to the bottom because it's not on the list, yes, okay.
Yes, yep.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay. Okay. So the next actions are, I guess, are, Brika, you're gonna basically reach out to Beta.
Yeah.
You're gonna find out about that, right?
Yeah, I'll figure it out, and if they, I'm fairly certain they do, but if they don't, I know MAPC does some stuff, so
Okay.
I can reach out to the organizations and they can guide me to where
Okay.
I need to go.
So we don't have to do anything until we find out what that
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that'll be first step.
Yes.
Right, and once we have that identified.
Yes.
Then we can basically bring the team together and find out how we're gonna use this resource to.
Yep.
Yep, okay.
Yep, and I'll bring several different options,
Okay.
as I usually do.
All right,
So.
okay. Other thing,
plan.
one of the things I would just say, anyone who is interested in participating, put on your thinking cap about what towns you think are somewhat like, say, Franklin, and maybe try to see, personal, objective. Just go to those towns and see if they have published their bylaws, maybe trying to get a set of those and just quickly see what's in there, right? Or identify which towns, because one of the things, let's say we identify maybe 5 to 6 towns that we think are good, sister towns of Franklin, right? You think that would be good to look at, right? Or that we think maybe have strong concoms. And I'm gonna go back to MAC too. We're gonna have actually a meeting soon about the meeting, and I will ask the administrator that I work with, what would they recommend in terms of for this activity? What towns to look at? Is it just local, or are there other towns in other areas of Massachusetts that are very similar to the kinds of situations that Franklin has?
There's also Massachusetts Conservation Professionals Network, which is all agents, I think only 152 wait, how many towns are in Massachusetts?
I
Like
forgot.
200, right?
Two
Yeah, okay.
something, yeah, 230
So
something,
150, probably right in that,
Yeah.
are part of this organization. They have a listserv, so I can always just ask for everybody to send me their bylaws.
Yeah.
And we can see if that happens.
We can create a
and-
library of bylaws on the
Yeah.
Google Drive, yeah.
Yeah, so then we don't have to search
Okay,
for every
that would,
town.
that would be nice, actually.
So I
That'd be
could do
great.
that as well.
Yep.
Might do that when I have nothing in my inbox that day.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna also ask, I don't think so, but I'll also ask the people I know at MAC to see if they have done such an exercise. I don't think so. They actually should keep, my personal opinion is MAC should keep updated a library of bylaws for the towns that are part of their membership. That would make a lot of sense, and I will recommend that to them at the next meeting. I'm not sure if they do, or I thought of that.
So I attended the MAC October of '22, and there was a session, Arlington talked about their climate resilience bylaws.
Okay,
So Arlington might be a good one. I took a few notes.
okay.
That's another thing, I'm merely stating it out loud, so we remember. We should reference our bylaws against master plan goals and open space goals.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you for that,
Yeah.
Michael.
okay, yep. Okay,
I am available days if I'd be more than willing to help with that.
okay, all right, great,
It might be a good thing to learn different aspects of it too.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can do days. I can,
Okay,
We can rotate it too, everybody gets a chance.
right.
Sure.
It's just-
I think that's it on the agenda. Do we have anything else?
I have one other thing, we actually need to talk about us being remote.
Oh, yeah.
So July 18th starts the municipal building renovation, in case you didn't know. It was bidded out and decided years ago.
Years ago.
Just
Wow.
to put that out there, it's not a new concept or a new,
Okay.
project of the town.
So they're just gonna rip all this stuff out and put.
Essentially, all new
Really?
carpeting, all painting, 205's going, those offices are being
So that's
renovated
going,
and opened.
that's going away?
That's gonna be part of finance now.
Oh, okay,
So they're starting on the 3rd floor.
okay.
Well, they're starting here first
Oh, really?
because of the nature of this room,
Right,
but then also 3rd floor, which they predict that this will be done before they move on to training room. That's what
Okay.
I had heard, but then today during our department head meeting, I heard that, well, it might coincide. So considering we have such a light agenda, I did make the executive decision that we should just be remote
okay,
until
so,
the end of August.
okay,
be-
starting with the next meeting. Okay.
Because they cannot guarantee that that will be open and just to settle panic and notices, public, legal
Okay.
ads and public notices and all
Okay.
those things.
Okay,
I'd rather not do that.
okay,
Especially because Franklin TV will be moving things as well. And
oh.
I think they'll be just fine
Oh,
doing
yeah,
that.
that's right, I forgot about
But-
this. Oh, my goodness,
Yeah.
yeah, that.
And
Wow.
their
That's right.
moving is dependent on how fast all the other contractors.
Now, wait, so, will we still have this? This will not be here anymore?
That will be there.
It'll be here, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but it'll be renovated, or?
No, it won't be.
Oh, so they gotta move, so you
They're gonna
guys.
take everything out.
Yeah,
God.
they have to take
Oh, my
everything
God,
out.
Really?
The
There will be-
wires, everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, God,
it's a pain.
oh, my God.
I will say though that, all, like, wiring will be run under the carpet. So a
Okay,
lot of these
yeah.
wires will be gone.
Yeah,
And then we'll be able to we'll have control over here to over there.
okay,
So that's exciting.
okay.
So
so
I
we're gonna be
just-
remote for
I said till the end of August.
till the end of August.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 3 meetings. I think that's fine.
So what you
The
just said
ZBA
about,
does it all the time.
That was mentioned today at department head meeting too.
so what you just said about signing things becomes more important.
Exactly. Bingo.
Yeah,
Yes, that is
yeah.
exactly right. Thank you. I
'Cause we
had a
don't-
method
that-
to,
Right, that we don't have the
She
access.
was leading
right.
us.
Yeah.
Right,
but I forgot about it momentarily because I
Yeah.
got stuck on bylaws. So,
yeah, yeah.
I hope that's okay with everybody. I just figured it was better than making any last minute decisions because training room wasn't available or not.
That's too bad, though. I mean,
Yes. And then my office will be closed for about a week while they're in there doing what they're doing. So I don't know when that will be.
right, they're just kind of moving from top to bottom, that's what they're doing? And this is the whole building?
Yeah.
Wow, really? Okay, that's,
So,
I mean, it's been forever. Okay, yeah.
Do they own this building now, or we still lease it, town?
I think we own it.
It's the town owns it.
The town
Yeah,
owns
I was
it.
gonna say,
I
I
don't
thought
know.
we
I've-
always owned it.
Yeah,
I
no.
When they first moved in here, they were leasing
That's,
and renting.
so that's true, and there are other people still operating out of here, but now we actually own it.
Ah,
That's a good story to ask Mark Sorrell about.
I mean, there are other entities in the building, not the town?
Not
That-
anymore.
Oh, they
When
were?
it transitioned
really?
at first, yeah, because it
Oh.
was medical offices.
Oh, this was medical offices originally? Oh,
Well, I thought the town built this.
yeah, that's what I thought so
No.
too. Okay, no, okay.
Mm-mm.
All right, okay.
Yep.
Hmm.
There was a very resilient, I think he was a dentist or,
Oh, he didn't want to go. I see, interesting. I see.
he was well connected.
It was like pulling teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming,
Couldn't
yeah. Come and vote and get your teeth done.
You couldn't resist.
Okay.
Can we talk about bylaws, like ideas for bylaws, or
Yeah.
is it too soon?
I
have
would,
a list of 4 or 5, but
I would just hold on to that. Hold on to
Okay.
it, hold on to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you want, you could, are you able to create things in our
I do.
shared folder?
I think you are. I think we have, yeah, we've
You
rights
could,
to.
I mean, I could just as easily do it, but it's meaningful if you do it. If you wanted to create like a spreadsheet.
I'll create a folder for this
Yeah, and
project.
just start putting
Yeah,
stuff in there.
bylaw project
Yep.
folder. We'll just create that and start putting things up, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Okay. Anything else, guys? I think that's it, right?
I did have
Yes?
Schmidt's Farm.
Yeah,
Does that fall under us?
I don't know yet.
Because they normally used to hay that field.
It's still hay.
Looks full grown right now, brown.
You gotta talk to your buddy then. So John is under agreement with the town to hay it.
Oh, okay.
I guess I had heard he was out there. I don't know where
Maybe
he started.
yeah.
I don't know where he stopped.
Yeah.
So it was either John or he was gonna have someone
His
from
friend,
Medway,
yeah.
yeah, come out and do it.
I only asked because I wouldn't want to see those fields start to,
Yeah, neither do
Sure.
I don't, and we'll never get him back at that point. So he's still continuing to hay it. I have poked Jamie 3 times to look at the scopes and fees from Beta to start the planning process, but as you can imagine, a lot of other things took precedent from that, so.
Is Maple Hill under us too?
Maple Hill is under us, and that, I receive scopes and fees for both Schmidt's and Maple Hill. To start just, conceptually planning them, so a lot more public hearings and outreach and wholesome stuff.
thank you.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, anything? That's it? I think if that's so, we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Okay,
Adjourn.
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 Is this a record?
Adjourn.